dose and found it worked just as well to prevent severe disease. Pfizer now plans to ask the FDA for emergency use authorization in the coming weeks, and it couldn't come at a more critical time. Pediatric hospital admissions are at an all-time pandemic high.
World leaders are supposed to be fully vaccinated before converging on New York City for the UN General Assembly this week. ABC's Crystal Cranmore is there.
New York City officials have requested that leaders coming into town show proof that they are fully vaccinated before entering the UN Hall for the annual opening of the General Assembly. The United Nations says it will operate on an honor system and trust those who say they are vaccinated. Mayor de Blasio says the city will open up a pop-up testing and vaccination site outside the UN headquarters.
Mass shooting at a university in Russia, 8 killed, several more wounded in the city of Perm.
Videos posted online show students fleeing out of windows in panic. Police say the shooter was detained after he was seriously wounded. They've identified him as a student at the college. A post on a social media account linked to the student describes fantasizing about a mass killing.
That's ABC's Patrick Reevell in Moscow. A body found in Wyoming believed to be that of 22-year-old Gabby Patino, last seen with her boyfriend on a cross-country trip. He returned to their home in Florida without her, went into a nature preserve last week, and has not been seen since. At the Emmys last night.
We're going to have a party now. I'm lost for words, and I'm very, very grateful. Thank you.
The Crown creator Peter Morgan, after his show, took home 7 awards, including Outstanding Drama Series. You're listening to ABC News.
For eligible individuals 18 or older only, not available in Oregon or West Virginia. Results vary. See website for details and important safety information.
How are your hearing aids sounding now?
A little tinny.
Okay, 2 seconds.
With hearing aids from Lively, everything is done remotely in the comfort of your home, from initial testing to adjustments.
How are they sounding now?
Fantastic. So much better. With Lively, you get premium Bluetooth-enabled hearing aids at thousands less than you might expect. The best hearing aid technology is now affordable and convenient. Your hearing aids are sent right to your door. And if you have any issues, we'll make adjustments 7 days a week. No charge.
Ah, you people at Lively are wonderful.
With Lively hearing aids, you get free shipping, 3 years of follow-up care included free, plus a 3-year warranty with loss and damage coverage. You can't lose.
I hear better than I ever thought possible.
Now get $100 off your hearing aids when you go to listenlively.com/radio. That's listenlively.com/radio. listenlively.com/radio.
3 days of voting done in Russia, and Vladimir Putin's party holding onto its supermajority in parliamentary elections. Critics, though, raising concerns about fraud. More than 24 people hurt after a bus carrying high school girls from a church retreat got into an accident in central Pennsylvania. Police say it's not clear why the bus veered off of a highway exit ramp. A violent weekend in several places. Shootings in Chicago left 9 people dead, more than 40 hurt. And in St. Louis, ABC's Kent Martin says 6 were killed.
Police say a rash of 16 shootings this weekend in St. Louis left 6 people dead, 2 women and 4 men, and 10 injured. The victims range in age from their 20s to their 40s. Police say the shootings are apparently not connected with one another. The shootings come as St. Louis leaders grapple with increasing violence throughout the city that has led to curfews for juveniles. Under the curfews, parents of juveniles arrested could also face citations. Extra police are being added to downtown patrols. Kent Martin, ABC News, St. Louis.
Lava continues to flow from a volcano that erupted in Spain's Canary Islands. About 5,000 people had to evacuate La Palma Island, and about 100 homes have been destroyed. Some of the world's biggest companies today are joining a corporate pledge to cut greenhouse gases by 2040. HP, Procter & Gamble, and Nespresso among those signing on. All told, the companies in the pledge, spearheaded by Amazon, are vowing to cut almost 2 billion metric tons of emissions by 2040. This is ABC News.
Legacy of Rock, brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
She's been with Heart since 1967, and Nancy Wilson says there's nothing like being out on the road.
Getting sleep is really difficult, but the hour and a half, 2 hours on stage is worth all of it.
Legacy of Rock, presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. Get guaranteed low prices and excellent customer service at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
The reasons more and more people are coming to NC Tractor to do business are the selection of Massey Ferguson tractors, Bobcat zero-turn mowers, fantastic customer service, and the special Phil Sheehan seasonal discounts. NC Tractor on Railroad Avenue in Rutherford is making dreams come true for folks who want their best.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Monday. It's a mild and muggy start to your morning. This afternoon, we'll see a partly to mostly cloudy sky. A few showers are possible for today, though most of you will stay dry. Our highs in the low to mid-80s. Stray showers for Tuesday as well, becoming scattered through the afternoon. Highs Tuesday in the mid to upper 70s and low 80s. We'll see a mostly cloudy sky as well. The better rain chance arrives on Wednesday. We'll see scattered to widespread showers and storms Wednesday afternoon and evening. I'm meteorologist Zach Malak in the Weather Center.
Thank you very much, Zach. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another Monday, the 20th day of September. Looks like we may get a little off and on showers for the next couple of days, but by Wednesday, it should all be winding itself down out of here. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, all mostly sunny and clear skies. The Ellenboro Fair is coming to town, so it looks like we're going to have at least mostly clear weather for that. Right now it's 67 degrees here at WCAB in Rutherford. Hope you had a great weekend, ready to face a brand new week of opportunity. Now I have these death announcements this morning. Jerry York Fight, age 75 of Forest City, passed away Sunday, September the 19th at the retreat in Gaffney, South Carolina. There will be time on Tuesday, September the 21st from 2 until 6 to drop by the home of Sonia and John Rogers. An online guest registry is available at McMahansFuneralHome.com, and they're in charge of the arrangements for Jerry York Fight. Cherie Monique Spears Skidmore, 52 of Ellenboro, died Friday, September the 17th at Ruby Hospital in Morganton, West Virginia. Those arrangements are incomplete and will be announced by Washburn and Dorsey Funeral and Cremation Service. For Cherie Monique Spears Skidmore. David Crawford Russ, age 87 of Forest City, died Wednesday, September the 15th at his home. The funeral service will be held 11 o'clock today in the Pageant at King Chapel. Burial will follow in the Eternal Hills Memorial Park. The family will receive friends from 10 until 11 today at the mortuary prior to the service. The Pageant and King Mortuary and Crematory in charge of the arrangements for David Russ. Zachariah Mark Moore, age 60 of Rock Hill, South Carolina, passed away Tuesday. Memorial services will be held today at 2 o'clock in the chapel of Harrelson Funeral Home. Burial and receiving of friends will follow immediately in the Rutherford County Memorial Cemetery. Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Services entrusted with those arrangements for Zachary Mark Moore. Otis Rollins, Jr., 61 of Forest City, passed away Wednesday, September the 15th at Adrium Health in Shelby. Funeral services will be held Tuesday, September the 21st at 1 o'clock at Crow's Mortuary, with burial following at Eternal Hills Memorial Park. The family will receive friends Monday, today, from 5 until 7 at Crow's Mortuary. Crow's Mortuary assisting the family of Otis Rollins, Jr. Alan Ray Sparks passed away September the 15th at age 56. A memorial service will be held at 4 o'clock Tuesday, September the 21st at Crow's Mortuary and Crematory for Alan Ray Sparks. Eileen Dobbins Cooper, 96 of Forest City, passed away Friday, September the 17th at her residence. The funeral service will be conducted at 2 o'clock Wednesday, September the 22nd at the Harrelson Funeral Chapel. Burial will follow in the First Baptist Church of Bostic Cemetery. Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Services entrusted with those arrangements for Eileen Dobbins Cooper. Hilda Janet Brigman Mull, 82 of Ellington Street, Spindale, passed away Monday, September 13th, following an extended illness. A memorial service to honor Hilda's life will be arranged for a future date. Memorials may be made to a charity of your choice. Crow's Mortuary is assisting the family of Hilda Janet Brigman Mull. Those are the death announcements we have in-house this morning. For the complete information on these and others as they become available to us can be heard this morning at 11:35 and then again at 5:10 as part of the afternoon report here on WCAB in Rutherfordton. Now stand by. The Bill O'Reilly Morning Update is coming up next.
Bill O'Reilly here, and I'm warming up from the NRIA.net studios in New York. Stand by for the O'Reilly Update Morning Edition. Investors, Bill O'Reilly here. Are you sitting on capital or wanting to diversify? The NRIA Real Estate Development Fund provides returns right now. They capitalize on strategic markets. They offer payouts of 10% annualized returns plus bonuses up to 21%. They are a 15-year industry leader who have seen it all. Start your due diligence at nria.net or call 800-800-1414. That's easy. 800-800-1414.
An offer of securities is only made by the NRIA Private Placement Memorandum. Read it first. Past performance does not guarantee future results. NRIA is a real estate development firm. Learn more at nria.net.
On this Monday, because I am a technical moron, I can't figure out where the TV stuff is. Amazon Prime? Apple Plus? Netflix? Hulu? Pluto? What the deuce? It's way too much for me. Where are the shows? By the way, my teenage son knows everything. He knows where all the programs are. And he mocks me because I don't know. Now, I watched a program called Ted Lasso last year because my kid likes it, and it was pretty good. But the first episode this season was a disaster, as profanity replaced wit. Have to talk to Sudeikis, who's now getting $1 million an episode for Ted Lasso. But today in America, the networks, that's Hawaii Five-0, whatever entertainment show they're throwing at you that night, Big Brother, all of that, they have lost 75% of their viewerships because they're all on these other things that I can't find. It's not fair. I'm an American. I have a right to know where the TV shows are. Why is it so difficult? Or am I just incredibly dumb? Don't answer that question. Now this. My trusted technology research executive, Jeff Brown, has a must-see video out right now on the Great Reset and how it will affect you. The way we spend, save, invest, borrow will be changed forever, according to Jeff. So pay attention because in his briefing, he'll show you exactly what's going on, the proof, and how you can best prepare. So don't wait. Please watch Jeff's important video report on the Great Reset now. Go to jeffbrowntech.com. jeffbrowntech.com. That is the Morning O'Reilly Update. More analysis later on.
Good morning. Good morning.
WCAB, Rutherfordton.
Her words weren't written under peaceful shade, but under fear for her life.
Everyone has inside a piece of good news.
For 2 agonizing years, she worried about being caught by the Nazis.
The good news is that you don't know how great you can be.
Though her story ended early, her words live on.
I don't think of all the misery, but of the beauty that still remains.
With her positive outlook, Anne Frank continues to fill us with hope. Hope. Pass it on from passiton.com.
It was September 14, 1910, when 2 deer hunters named Kibbe and Hillpot stopped into Tuttle Station in eastern Arizona. 2 men named Stewart and Goodwin managed the store. While there, a dog belonging to manager Stewart bit Hunter Hillpot. In response, Hillpot kicked the dog. An argument ensued, but tempers seemed to cool down. The next day, the hunters returned to Tuttle Station to spend the night. Following supper, without warning, manager Goodwin pulled his pistol and shot Hunter Kibbe, killing him. At the same time, manager Stewart shot Hunter Hillpot. The killers took the hunters' possessions and ran. A manhunt ensued, and in less than 2 weeks, the men were captured. The men were tried and sentenced to life in prison. But this isn't the end of the story. Thinking he could get a better deal for them, their lawyer filed an appeal stating the crime took place on an Indian reservation and it should be tried in a federal court. He won the battle but lost the war. The men got a new trial, but the judge sentenced them to be hanged. Next, the defense lawyer appealed to President Wilson for executive clemency. Just hours before they were to be hanged, the president ordered a 60-day stay to study the issue. When the stay expired, nothing was heard from President Wilson, and the hanging proceeded. but a new gallows had to be built. Souvenir hunters had taken the one away piece by piece. The story has two lessons. The first is how a minor affair can escalate into a major tragedy. The other is that sometimes a lawyer should let well enough alone. You've just heard another story from Old West Radio. I'm Dakota Livesay.
Put Jesse James Railroad Express on your lunch calendar. He has a menu chocked full of fresh cooked burgers, fresh salads, hot dogs made any way you like, taco salads, specialty burgers, sandwiches, french fries, or onion rings. Enjoy refreshing milkshakes, Coke floats, or a cone of hand-dipped ice cream. Open Monday through Saturday, 11 to 4, closed Wednesday and Sunday. Jesse James Railroad Express, 531 Railroad Avenue, Ruthverton. Call 828-447-4644. Mondays only. Hot dogs with mustard, chili, and onions for only $1.24 each. All aboard the Jesse James Railroad Express.
Well, it's another brand new week. This is Monday, the 20th of September. It's time to go to the phones and find out what happened over the weekend. And we stop first with the Sheriff's Department, and Lieutenant Lowry is on the phone with me right now to give us an update. Good morning. How are you doing today? Welcome to our program this morning. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. Tell us what's been going on over the weekend.
In the past 48 hours, the Sheriff's Office has responded to 326 calls. We currently have 216 detainees in the jail, and they processed 23 arrests. Under arrest reports, we have Stormy Dunlap of Forest City charged with failure to appear. We have Justin Bradshaw of Ellenboro charged with driving while license revoked. We have Roberto Alvarez charged with flee to elude arrest for motor vehicle and possession with intent, manufacturer Schedule 4, controlled substance. Failure to appear on felony and failure to appear on misdemeanor. Sherry Daly of Rutherford, charged with assault and battery. Fred Braun, Ballstick, charged with failure to appear on misdemeanor. Michelle Wilson of Rutherford, charged with possession of stolen goods. Kimberly Clark of Ellenboro, charged with failure to appear on felony. James Frazier of Forest City, charged with failure to appear on misdemeanor. And Jeffrey Green of Ballstick, charged with breaking or entering and larceny after breaking or entering and probation violation, misdemeanor larceny, and communicating threats. Under incident reports, we have Sarah Bradley reported an incident of breaking and entering. We have Russell Howard reported an incident of assault and battery. Eddie Foci, an incident of identity theft and obtained property by false pretense. Tisha Smith, incident of identity theft. Amy Hamrick, incident of felony larceny. And that does it for the report.
Lieutenant Lowry, thank you so much for that report. I appreciate it, and you be safe out there today.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And we'll find out from 911 Communications Center their phone calls over the weekend in just a moment.
Excuse me, this coffee looks small.
That's our new large. The new large size is our old tall size, and the new tall is the old small.
So this is your small?
Nope, that's the new large, like you ordered.
Right.
These days, everything seems smaller. So we're going bigger with the Bigger Spin from the North Carolina Education Lottery. New scratch-offs with a chance at a live spin on the Bigger Spin prize wheel for 2 million big ones. And that's huge. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 3.62. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Let me brag on Hutchins Pest Control a minute. Don't let the pest bug you when Hutchins Pest Control is as close as a phone call. Honest, dependable, professional, and on-time service may be the reason they keep getting voted best pest control. If you have a pest problem, call this family-run business at 287-5171. Licensed in North and South Carolina and fully insured and bonded. Get a free estimate when you call Hutchins Pest Control and be sure the job is done right. That's Hutchins Pest Control. Call them today at 287-5171 and they'll be right there. And here's Amber now with 911 Communications to give us an update on the weekend. Good morning, Amber.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. What's on the report?
In the past 48 hours, Rutherford County Sheriff's Office 911 Communications has processed 816 911 calls and administrative calls, which consisted of 84 calls for EMS and 10 for rescue. For law enforcement, there were 326 calls for the Sheriff's Office, 106 for Forest City, 17 for Lake Lure, 64 for Rutherfordton, and 113 for Spindale. For fire calls, Cherry Mountain responded to a motor vehicle accident. Cliffside responded to a motor vehicle accident. Forest City responded to a fire alarm. Forest City also responded to a motor vehicle accident. Shingle Hollow responded to a fire alarm. And Union Mills responded to a structure fire with Green Hill, Hudlow, and Rutherfordton assisting. And that is all we have.
Amber, thank you very much. Hope you have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
Bye. 21 minutes after 7. Next phone call coming up in just a moment.
You say hello every time you pick up your phone, but what else do you say hello to? With Bark Mobile, you can say hello to summer, to adventure, to doing what you love, because you're also saying hello to freedom, flexibility, and great deals. Like getting a free Moto G stylus when you switch for a limited time, $100 savings when you bring the device you already love, or 2 lines unlimited data for just $35 a month per line with AutoPay. Say hello to something new. It's just a phone call away with Bark Mobile. Bark Mobile, mobile made easy. Certain restrictions apply. See store for details. Visit mybarkmobile.com/terms and conditions.
Here's Ruby Taylor now reporting from Danieltown, SDO Fire District. Ruby, good morning.
Good morning.
What's on that report from Danieltown?
Well, the fire department didn't have any calls, and I don't even have a birthday today. And the signs are in the head today and tomorrow. And then, Jim, that's all I got. Quiet.
Quiet over there. You could stay in bed this morning, couldn't you?
Well, no.
You an early riser?
No.
You an early riser?
I am.
Yeah, well.
I am.
Well, enjoy your day and have a good one, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, you too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Ruby Taylor reporting out of Danieltown, SDO Fire District, 22 past 7. We have 67 degrees here in Rutherfordton.
Cheryl, have you been to the Homeworks Design Center inside Henson Building Materials in Forest City?
Oh, yes. Shana, David, and William are incredible at designing kitchen and bath cabinetry for my new she shed.
Your what?
And they have a full line of windows and doors on display in their 5,000 square foot showroom. And they'll install any ones you pick out for me.
Oh, you're too good to me.
I know. With selling and installing, it's basically one-stop shopping.
Henson Building Materials, 177 Duke Street, Forest City.
Building starts here.
Well, the Braves had a good day yesterday over the Giants, 3-0. They had lost to the Giants on Saturday 2-0, and they lost to them on Friday 6-5. But they came back and won yesterday, 3-0. And the Braves are playing the Diamondbacks tonight out in. Too late for us to be staying awake. We got to get our beauty sleep. So the first pitch is not till 9:35. So we will not be airing that game. So sorry. Let's check in now with Gary Wilson. He's up in the Fairfield Mountains District, Fairfield Mountains Fire District. Gary, good morning.
Hey, Jim, you cutting the fog out of your way down there?
We're not too foggy here. You got some up there?
Yeah, a little bit. It's just heavy overcast really right now. Had about a half inch of rain yesterday. Had a couple of 3 hard showers come through. It didn't last long, but it dumped some water while it was at it. And it's sitting on about 68 degrees this morning. We had no fire call over the weekend. Bills Creek had one that I can recall. And been a fairly quiet week all the way around up in here. That's pretty typical after Labor Day. They'll get a lull there, and then hopefully next month we'll have more people coming back in for the color season. I hope we have a good one this year.
I do too. I hope it is. I hope it remains quiet up there as well. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Keep it quiet and keep the tourists coming in and the economy pumped up, and we'll be good to go.
Keep the bears at bay.
Yeah, keep the bears at bay. There's plenty of them around.
They've been sighted down this way too, I think.
Yeah, they're pretty common everywhere now. But you leave them alone, they'll leave you alone.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm not going to bother them, I'll tell you.
Yeah, I'm not going to go up to them and try to shake hands with them or anything, but I'll give them all the room they want.
Yes, sir. All right, Gary, I appreciate you being with us, and thanks for that, and you have a great Monday.
All right, you too.
Thanks. Bye-bye. Gary Wilson reporting out of the Fairfield Mountains Fire District in Bills Creek community as well. Imagine being surrounded by comfort. At Immaculate Heating and Air Conditioning, they offer ultimate home comfort by Coleman. They will install a Coleman high-efficiency heating and cooling system and handle any service and maintenance, all for one low monthly payment with zero out-of-pocket costs for 10 years. That's right, 10 years with no service or repair fees, no maintenance fees, no unexpected cost at all. Ultimate home comfort. It's more comfort all around. Contact Nathan Blackburn at 828-755-5788. That's 755-5788, or visit ImmaculateHeatingandAir.com. Well, as I mentioned last week to you, we're starting off today, the brand new week, with a brand new reporter from a brand new area that we have not talked about in the past. And we're happy to add the Bostic Fire District to our routine of calls around the county this morning. And Vern Upton is our reporter. She's stepped up to the plate, agreed to be our reporter from the Bostic Fire District, and we're happy to have her on the radio right now. Vern, good morning.
Good morning, Jim. How are you this morning?
Doing great. We're so glad to have you on the rotation of our call-around report each day. We're glad you're going to cover Bostic for us.
Yes, thank you. We have no fire calls and no medical calls. It's cloudy over here this morning. We're expecting some rain. And we've got one anniversary. Yesterday, Bonnie and Larry Lawson celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary. We want to wish them a happy wedding anniversary. And a little bit about Bostic. Bostic was founded March the 4th, 1893. And we have a good town council and a mayor to work with over here. Mitch Harrell is our mayor, and we have 5 council. Keith Dobbins, Mike Hollifield, Wesley Flynn, Billy Lattimore, and Shane Upton, and they meet every first Monday at 6 o'clock, and anyone is welcome to come and join in with them, give them their opinion on things, and find out what's going on in Bostic. That's all I have to report today.
You got a good group of council members over there, Mayor.
Yes, I do.
I know most of those guys, and they seem to be doing a great job. I hate to get your day off to a bad start, but Chad Medford told me to tell you hello this morning.
Oh, my goodness. That is a bad start, isn't it?
I tell you, between you and me and Brenda Kelly, maybe we can straighten him out one of these days.
We'll do it. We'll do it.
Thank you so much, Vern, for being with us. We look forward to talking to you each morning.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. That's Vern Upton. She's the new reporter from Bostic Fire District down. We'll be having her on each morning as well. And we'll get to our next phone call right after this.
Your car's best friend can be RS Speedy Lube Service Center. That's because RS Speedy Lube Service Center and Car Wash can keep your car or truck running clean with a regular oil change. They check the fluids and vacuum out the car and have you on your way in no time. Go next door for a radiator or transmission flush. Brakes, exhaust, CV joints, and service for big trucks and campers also available. Pull next door to the RS Speedy Automatic Car Wash and make your car happy with a clean, all under and all over car wash. It's all at RS Service Center and Car Wash on Railroad Avenue in Rutherfordton.
728, I want to give a big shout out this morning to Pat Ware. I understand she's a big listener of the morning show over here. Pat, good morning. Thank you for listening. I want to give you a big shout out. I hope you have a great day today. Now let's head up toward the Hudlow Fire District. Bob Hodge, good morning.
Good Monday morning.
Your weekend was good, I hope?
We had a good weekend. Yeah, everything was just fine. And had a pretty weekend, too. But look like we got some more rain on the way now, so a few days.
Yeah, a couple of days we should have some rain, but by the weekend it'll be nice again, I hope.
Be nice and cool, look like, for the weekend, so that'll be good. And, Jim, with the fire department over the weekend, it's been pretty quiet. We just answered a few medical calls, hadn't had any fire wreck calls. Want to say happy birthday to Chuck Watson and Jeannie Long this morning, and also Don and Catherine Marson wedding anniversary. And, Jim, that's about it up here this Monday morning, and you take care, and you have a good day over there.
Bob, thank you very much. Enjoy your Monday, and I will see you tomorrow.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye. It's 7:30. To win in sports, you must adjust your strategy as the game changes. The same is true of investments. Why not let Andrew Tisdale, your Edward Jones financial advisor, help you create a game plan for financial success? Call 828-287-9197 and get started today. That's Andrew Tisdale at Edward Jones Financial Advisor, 828-287-9197. Now we're heading over toward the Cherry Mountain Fire District and to get a report from there. Sue Price is our reporter on the scene over there with the latest news. Good morning, Sue.
Good morning, Jim.
Your Monday going off to a good start so far?
So far, so good. It started out all right. We had a pretty red sky this morning, so. And let's see, the fire department answered one motor vehicle accident. Got one birthday on my church calendar for Nana Gaddis, so I hope she'll have a good day. And on my personal calendar, I got Scott Randall. Don't have anything on Fairviews and nothing on First Prod, so not too many celebrating, but we hope anybody that's having a birthday or anniversary will have a real good day on this special day and enjoy it. And in my announcements, the Golden Valley Community Club will be meeting tonight at 7 o'clock with a potluck supper and then the business meeting. And I think that's the only announcement I have so far. Just not too much going on over here, but we hope everybody will have a good day today. Look forward to it. We had a good weekend. I hope you did, Jim.
I did. I was busy all weekend, but it was a good one. Had some downtime, had some work time. Faye kept me busy.
Yeah.
She's good at that.
Well, that's all right.
Faye's good at that. She always has a, will you do this? By the way, I forgot to tell you I need you to do this. And before I know it, the day's gone. I've been doing honey-do list all day.
Well.
But that's okay. Saturday's only day I have to do it, so I guess I have to rush it in on Saturdays.
Oh, yeah. Well, I hope you'll have a good day today, and we'll talk to you later.
You have a good day, too, Sue, and I'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Bye-bye.
Well, one of the things that we like to talk about on this program is Washburn Store, the hospitality that you receive every time you walk in the door. Friendly smiles await you and plenty of help if you want it. Now, some folks love to just browse up and down the aisles and pick out what they need. If they have a question, they can ask them. They're Johnny on the spot to answer that question. But they don't bug you. They leave you alone, let you shop. If you have something in mind that you'd like to buy, see if they've got it, and they're pretty good odds that they will have it. If you got a special gift you need to prepare and you want to do a gift basket for you, they're excellent in preparing gift baskets for you, too. Washburn General Store, they're historically significant, and I think you need to find out more about them. If you've never been, shame on you. And try it out and see if you like it. That's Washburn General Store between Bostic and Sunshine on the Bostic Sunshine Highway. And grab one of those cool drinks in there for me. Enjoy that. It's 7:33. Meanwhile, a local woman was killed Thursday after she was thrown from a single vehicle crash. Sabrina Spurlock, 27 of Forest City, died in the 12:26 p.m. wreck on the eastbound ramp leading from U.S. Highway 74A to U.S. 74. Spurlock was driving a 2003 GMC Envoy at a high rate of speed when she took the curving ramp. She ran off the right side of the road down an embankment before overturning the SUV. Spurlock was ejected from the vehicle, according to Trooper J.K. Henderson of the North Carolina Highway Patrol. She was not wearing a seatbelt. Witnesses told troopers Spurlock was driving as fast as 80 miles per hour when she lost control. It was reported the victim was heading home to retrieve money so she and her husband could take a lunch break together. The crash caused the ramp to be closed for about 2 hours. This report written by Richie Stars for the Daily Courier. All right, heading up toward Shingle Hollow now, and Tina White is on the Monday morning phone call. Good morning.
Good Monday morning.
How are you?
I'm good. It's 69 degrees on the front porch, and the fire departments were all white. Hadn't reported anything. Birthday calendars. Piney Knob has Rhonda Lovelace. That was yesterday. Rhonda Lovelace and Robbie Bratton were yesterday. They had great big birthdays. But today is Elaine Holman and Lane Rhodes. And for announcements, turn my paper over. I'm a little slow this Monday morning. Revival at the White House Community Clubhouse starts tonight and ends Friday, September 24th. It starts at 7 p.m. Tonight, Tad Connor will be bringing the message. And everybody's invited every night, so come on out for that. And then the buffet breakfast will be Saturday at the White House Community Clubhouse. It starts at 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. That's all you can eat. Jams, jellies, biscuits, eggs, sausage, liver mush, gravy, homemade applesauce, and pancakes. So everybody come out for that and have the breakfast is $6 for adults, $3 for children 6 and up, 5 and under is free. And that is this coming Saturday, September 25th at 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. I've got a little cold going on this morning, and it's about to make me, it's miserable.
Take 2 aspirins and call me tomorrow.
Take 2 of these and call me tomorrow. Yes, I remember that. So have you had a good morning?
I've had a great morning, yeah. Mondays are always full of surprises, but I'm making it a good day anyway.
Well, continue to have a good day, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Everybody stay safe out there.
Get that cold better, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. That's Tina White reporting out of Shingle Hollow Fire District. We're going up to upstate Union Mills in just a moment.
Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood, because we're headquartered in North Carolina with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
7:37, the Polk County Asheville authorities are searching for a missing 14-year-old girl. Morgan Pridmore was last seen Saturday night, September the 18th at approximately 10 p.m. in the Winston Avenue area of Asheville. Morgan is approximately 5'3", 5 feet 3 inches tall, 135 pounds, has sandy blonde, light brown hair with a temporary purple hair dye, and has blue-green eyes and nose piercing. And she is missing. Morgan is known to have visited the Ramada by Wenham at 148 River Road, River Ford Parkway in Asheville prior to September the 18th. She has family and friends in Polk, Rutherford, and Buncombe counties. Anyone with any information about the whereabouts of Morgan Pridmore is to ask to contact Officer Chris Stromolo with the Asheville City Police Department at 828-252-1110 or Polk County Division of Social Services at 894-2100, or you can call the local officials here in Rutherford County. They'll help you get that information to the right source. Again, Morgan is approximately 5 feet 3 inches tall, weighs about 135 pounds, has sandy blonde, light brown hair with a temporary purple hair dye, and has blue-green eyes and a nose piercing, and they're looking for her. Hopefully find her safe and sound. Now we're going up to Union Mills. Brenda Kelly, good morning.
Good morning. How are you on this magnificent Monday morning?
Magnificent Monday morning it is.
Yeah, and it's a full moon.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought I heard you howling, but I wasn't sure.
You know, it was cloudy when I left this morning, so I really didn't notice about it being a full moon. I noticed the howling instincts came out of me, so it must have been.
Actually, it was a hoot owl I heard. I let the dog out early this morning, and I love to hear them. I thought, oh, we got a hoot owl going on.
I remember years ago when I was just a kid, and we used to hear those a lot because there wasn't a whole lot of external noises like car traffic and all that. But they used to say if you turned your pockets wrong side out, the owl would stop hooting.
Oh, never heard that.
Yep. So we used to do that.
Did you turn your pockets wrong side out?
Oh yeah, we did, but I don't know if it stopped or not. We just.
But sometimes they sound plumb scary.
Yeah, they do.
They do. But you gave a shout out to Pat Ware. She is a wonderful lady. I've known Pat all my life. I was born and raised off of Spindale Street when I think I was 3. We moved down on the end of Spindale Street, and the Rosses lived, like if you go to the end of Spindale Street and take a right, they lived up on the hill on the right in a beautiful white house. I've just always loved that big old white house. And she married and built across the road from there, so I've known her all my life.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
She's a fine lady.
I saw her daughter over the weekend, and she was telling me that her mom's a big listener over here, so told me to give her a big shout-out, so I'm doing that.
Well, that's good. We glad we got good listeners.
Absolutely. We love to hear from them like that, too. We love to know that who they are, and if we can give a shout-out to them, we'd be happy to do that. So if you know mom or dad or a cousin, nephew, or in-law or outlaw you need us to give a shout-out to, we'll do that, so let us know.
In-law, outlaw.
That's right. That's right.
I had lunch yesterday with a member of the church because we had a board meeting yesterday afternoon, so I just stayed for that. And I was when we went to the restaurant, the obituaries come on, and I said, "Oh, let me listen to this." He said, "What is that?" I said, "That's the obituaries." He said, "Is that your station?" I said, "Well, no, it's not my station, but it's the station I listen to." And he said he was amazed that somebody would give the obituaries. I said, "You don't never listen?" I said, "Listen, you need to listen to this. Look here what station it is." But whether he will or not, I don't know.
He must be from somewhere else.
He's from Maine.
Yep.
They don't know what part.
They don't do stuff like that at other places.
They don't.
That's why they call us Friendly Hometown Community Radio Station.
That's right, and I enjoy all of it.
Thank you.
But we hope everybody's having a good day. I've got 67 degrees on the front porch. I don't have any birthdays, any anniversaries, and ways of announcements. On October the 1st, Randy Flack will be at the Union Mills Learning Center. The music begins at 7 p.m., and then they have a meal available beginning at 6 p.m., and the cost of the meal is $5. And other than that, I don't have nothing. So just short, sweet, and quiet up here, and we like it like that.
Let's keep it that way if we can, and you have a good Monday, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Catch you later.
Thanks, Brenda.
Hey, folks, Farmer's Friend Feed Seed Supply is an amazing store. I can say that because they have what you need. From pet supplies to fire and ant killer to horse-quality Timothy alfalfa hay, $14 per bale. Attention carp fishermen, they have C&J flavoring, only $8 per bottle. And they have oats for sale. Refill your propane tanks at the lowest price. Fully stocked with all your deer supplies and a great selection of farm implements. Need mulch? $12 per scoop. We could call it a superstore. Farmer's Friend Feed Seed Supply, 188 Whiteside Road in Rutherfordton.
Nothing strikes fear in the hearts of people more than receiving an IRS audit letter in the mail. Audits take much time away from your business and family, requiring you to gather mounds of records and can become overwhelming unless you have someone you can depend on to take care of that for you. That's why we can recommend IE Accounting and Tax Service. Chris and his team of professionals are in the business to help. Even if you depended on someone else to prepare your taxes, IE Accounting and Tax Service will be glad to assist you or your company. Don't hesitate to call. As a small business owner, you have more important things to do than keep your own books. Why not let IE Accounting and Tax Service take care of that for you so you can get back to the job of running your business? Consider their payroll solutions for your business, cash flow management, litigation support, and forensic investigation. Why not give them a call and see what they can do for your business? Here's that phone number, 828-395-1777. They're at 211 West Main Street, Spindale. Again, that's 395-1777, and it's spelled A-R-Y-E-E.
Thinking about the departure of a loved one through death is a subject we don't like to talk about. However, pre-planning or prepaying for a funeral is a consideration and responsible thing to do. With so many options available today, it's important to speak with someone you can trust and someone who can help you find a balance between the emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of your loved ones. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory is recognized as one of the best family-run funeral homes. It's a family tradition, and they know how to care for your family. Any questions you might have, they will be happy to answer. Call Crow's Mortuary and Cremation Services at 286-2304.
Unable to reach our Ellenboro reporter, Luther Gilligan, this morning. He's probably already lined up over there at the fairgrounds waiting on the funnel cake man to get there. Because the Ellenboro Fair, the Colfax Free Fair, held annually by the Ellenboro Elementary School, returns tomorrow night. September the 21st through the 25th. This will be the 93rd edition of the event, which typically attracts thousands of visitors. Organizers are especially excited because most of the typical fair elements will be back. Last year, only a limited drive-through event was held. The fair will be held at the site of the old Ellenboro School on Cherry Mountain Street. Kyla Bumgardner, Ellenboro Elementary School principal, said this will be more like our typical fair. B&K Carnival Rides will begin bringing rides and setting up in the days prior to the fair's opening. They're already in town. We saw some of them traveling through yesterday. Bumgardner said we'll have several food vendors providing barbecue, hamburgers, hot dogs, pizza, typical carnival food like cotton candy, funnel cakes, and so forth. Because of COVID-19, there will be multiple hand sanitizing stations throughout the fair area. It's an outside event, and people are free to wear masks if they choose to do so, Bumgardner said. The fair's car show will be Saturday at the old Ellenboro School ball field. Registration will be from 2 to 5. People's Choice voting will be from 3 to 5:30 with awards presented at 6 o'clock. There is no entry fee. This year's event will not have competitive exhibits like canned foods, garden produce, and so forth, but there will be some educational and informational displays. Live music will be provided Friday and Saturday at the ball field. Rock bleachers, the Rock Gospel Quartet will perform Friday at 7 and 8 o'clock. Piney Mountain Boys playing bluegrass music will perform Saturday at 7 and 8. The fair is called free because there is no cost to enter the fairgrounds and no cost for parking. Participants purchase tickets to access the carnival rides, however. While weather often affects the numbers of visitors to the fair, some have estimated that previous fairs have drawn a total of 15 to 20,000 visitors. Friday and Saturday usually have the most visitors. The fair will run from 6 until 9 Tuesday through Friday and 1 to 9 on Saturday. It's a major moneymaker for Ellenboro Elementary School, generating an average of $40,000 each year. And you're invited to come out and be a part of that. Bring your kids and the grandkids and the moms and the dads and walk around and drive around in your wheelchair and enjoy the festivities of the Ellenboro Fair. Now, we will be broadcasting from over there on Wednesday night, 6 and 7. We'll be set up over near the exhibit hall. So if you can pull yourself away from the carnival rides and the food, step over there to the exhibit hall and chat with us a few minutes. We'll be there from 6 to 8 on Wednesday night. That story was presented by the Daily Courier. 7:47, it's time for birthdays and anniversaries. Could not reach Luther this morning, so call your birthdays in to us now. It's the 20th of the month, the 20th of September. So 287-3356 is the phone number to call. Birthdays and anniversaries are being accepted right now. 287-3356 for birthdays and anniversaries.
It can be a tough call when it comes time to provide a daycare service for an aging parent or a loved one. You can always depend on Rutherford Life Services for a safe facility that offers medical monitoring, nutritional meals, fun activities, and is a loving environment. Rutherford Life is licensed by the State of North Carolina Division of Aging. They will be glad to answer any questions you may have. Call them at 288-1697. Rutherford Life Services offers a trained staff of professionals who you can entrust your loved one to. Rutherford Life Services is located at 230 Fairground Road in Spindale.
Nobody gets a better deal than the customers at Sisk Family Ford. They have a proven record of the best deals. Sisk Family Ford, Rutherford County's only locally owned new car dealer, has recently been recognized as the #1 Ford dealer in customer satisfaction in the Southeast. That speaks well of their commitment to serve their customers well. Look for all the new design 2021 F-150 at Rutherford County's only locally owned new car dealership. That's Sisk Family Ford, Oak Street, Forest City.
Another season has come and gone, and you're still looking at that same sad-looking sofa or recliner. Well, now's the time to change the inside of your home to look as pretty as the spring and summer colors outside. And the perfect place to start is the Recliner Center. Right now at the Recliner Center, everything is 20% off. That's 20% off sofas, recliners, sofa recliners. If someone you love is having trouble standing, the Recliner Center has all lift chairs on sale for 10% off. All lift chairs, 10% off. Now, some of these chairs can take you from a standing position, then safely back down to a sitting position with no effort on your part whatsoever. Angela is cleaning out merchandise to make room for more. So now's your chance to redecorate your home and take advantage of the great savings at the Recliner Center. All lift chairs, 10% off. Everything else is 20% off. Angela is seeing folks by appointment only, so call 828-395-3562. Call her today. The Recliner Center. They're on Cooper's Gap Road in Rutherfordton.
Well, Granny B's over there in Spindale, you know where they are. They offer some great, delicious daylight donuts, and they're opening early now. They're closed on Mondays, of course. They're open early now, so you can get some on your way to work, and with a cup of coffee and enjoy those delicious daylight donuts any morning, Tuesday through Saturday. They also have delicious pizza. If you haven't tried the combo pizza from Granny B's, you haven't really tried the pizza yet. You may never go back to the others once you've had one of Granny B's delicious combo pizzas. Choose from several different varieties. It's a great place for lunch, great place for breakfast, great place for afternoon snack, great place to enjoy pizzas. That's Granny B's. They're in Spindale, right next to the Shake Shop. Go see them and enjoy that pizza.
Happy birthday.
Have a couple of birthdays to celebrate this morning. Ed Cole over in Sandy Mush and Gary Bradley also having a birthday today. So happy birthday to these two. We hope it's the best one you've ever had, but not your last one. Let's enjoy those birthdays with our folks. Coming up, Keys to Confident Living here in just a moment. Top of the hour, we'll have the job market report to find out where some jobs are.
What good is wealth if you don't use it? I'm not talking about using all of one's life savings when that savings will be needed, but how much accumulation is enough? Back in the 20s and 30s, John G. Wendell and his 6 sisters lived miserly lives while building an estate of over $100 million. John influenced 5 of his 6 sisters not to marry and to keep all of their wealth to themselves. They inherited a sizable amount from their parents, but they continued to accumulate and hoard all they received, not sharing any of it with others, not even on themselves. When the last sister died, she was wearing the only dress she owned and had worn for the last 25 years. They had a lot of money, but they lived like paupers. They had stored up, as Jesus said, treasures for themselves, but were not rich towards God. God's system of wealth uses phrases like, give and it will be given to you in accordance with what you have given, or refresh others and you too will be refreshed, or give back to God and He will pour so many blessings on you that you will not be able to contain them. These ideas are counterintuitive, the opposite of what a person would normally think, but people who have tried them find them to work. But remember, wealth is not always measured in dollars and cents. An anonymous person said, measure wealth not by the things that you have, but by the things that you have for which you would not take money. Now that is true wealth. And this is Bill Hostler with today's key to confident living.
WCAB Rutherfordton.
I'm Sherry Preston. Pfizer making the announcement this morning that parents had been waiting for. The company says its COVID shot, if given in a smaller dose, is safe for children ages 5 to 11, and that they will seek emergency use authorization in the coming weeks.
This news comes as hospitals are seeing a record number of cases of pediatric admissions, with some hospitals running out of ICU beds. As hospitals see these upticks, the debate over COVID policies in schools rages on. If this is approved, almost every K-12 student in the country will be eligible to get vaccinated.
ABC's Eva Pilgrim. Over the weekend, the FDA's independent advisory panel rejected the call for those 16 and over to get booster shots. The Biden administration using a Trump-era rule to begin deporting many of the thousands of mostly Haitian migrants who have been gathering along the border city of Del Rio, Texas. Over the weekend, a grim discovery in Wyoming. ABC's Trevor Ault.
The body believed to be 22-year-old Gabby Petito found near Grand Teton National Park. Her father reacting to the news with this tweet. She touched the world.
Petito is the missing 22-year-old who disappeared earlier this month. Her boyfriend, Brian Laundrie, last seen at a nature preserve near their home in Florida. Big wins for one comedy at the Emmy Awards last night, and the cast made the most of it. Ted Lasso.
The Apple TV Plus comedy winning Best Comedy for its first season, and 3 other awards Sunday night. The cast doing one of the chants from the show backstage. Roy Kent! The chant about Roy Kent, played by writer and star Brett Goldstein, who won his first Emmy.
I'm struggling to take any of this in because it's so surreal.
Star and co-creator Jason Sudeikis describing the cast's pandemic-era after-party.
We will all go to our individual rooms with masks on and zoom the hell out of each other.
Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Hollywood.
You're listening to ABC News.
Tired of living paycheck to paycheck? What if it didn't take years or even months to dramatically improve your net worth? What if you could do it virtually overnight? I'm not talking about the lottery. I'm talking about proven financial secrets used by the mega rich to build their massive fortunes. Once only available to an exclusive club of billionaires, this secret is now, for the very first time, available to you. Any ordinary person can use this powerful information to build massive wealth. It's like a financial wormhole. You know, something that moves you from one side of the universe to the other in the blink of an eye. But in this case, it's moving you from barely paying your bills to financial freedom in a snap. Learn more at financialwormholes.com. Get off the paycheck-to-paycheck hamster wheel and start enjoying life like the mega rich. Go to financialwormholes.com. It costs you nothing, but it changes everything. Do it today, and tomorrow you could start living the good life. Financialwormholes.com. That's financialwormholes.com.
Due in court today, the longtime chief financial officer for the Trump Organization, Alan Weisselberg. Prosecutors in New York accuse him and the company of running a 15-year-long scheme to pay some executives with perks and dodge taxes. Both the company and Weisselberg have pleaded not guilty. Evacuations on the Spanish island of La Palma after a volcano there started erupting. So far, no reports of anyone hurt, but around 100 homes have been destroyed. New limits for kids in China. Weeks after the government there capped video games at 3 hours per week, the maker of TikTok is putting a timer on the Chinese version of its app. Kids 14 and under will only be allowed to watch 40 minutes of TikTok videos per day. International honors for a World War II veteran from Georgia. Here's ABC's Chuck Sievertson.
With his flamethrower on the French coast on D-Day, Louis Graziano took out a German machine gun.
Laid down on the ground on the beach there with the dead soldiers.
His memories posted on YouTube.
The ones that didn't have guns, I told them to get the gun off the dead soldiers and follow me up the cliff.
His feet almost froze off in the Battle of the Bulge. At the surrender signing, Graziano took German officers to meet General Eisenhower. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution says over the weekend in a Thompson, Georgia ceremony where he lives, 98-year-old Graziano was given the French Legion of Honor, thanked as a hero by the Consul General of France in Atlanta. Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
This is ABC News.
If you think the COVID vaccine alone will protect you from the coronavirus, think again. As the deadly disease breaks through to people who are vaccinated, it's critical to take a reliable temperature reading with the Exergen Temporal Scanner. It's the only thermometer whose accuracy has been proven in more than 100 clinical studies. Vaccines are not enough, and thermometer accuracy matters. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Exergen is changing the way the world takes temperature.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Monday. For this afternoon, we'll see a partly to mostly cloudy sky. Stray shower is possible this afternoon, though. Most of you, however, will stay dry. Our highs today are in the low to mid-80s. For Tuesday, we'll see another mostly cloudy afternoon, but more rain expected. We'll see scattered showers in the afternoon on Tuesday. For Wednesday, we'll see scattered to widespread showers and thunderstorms, heavy rain likely as a strong cold front moves across the state. I'm meteorologist Zach Malak in the Weather Center.
We're currently 68 degrees. It's going to be another beautiful day up to a point, and then maybe get some rain this afternoon. Have rain a couple of days, and then by the weekend, looks like maybe Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday is going to be a great, great day. No rain in the forecast, but a little cooler, so we'll watch out for that. The weather looks like it's going to be mostly nice for the Ellenboro Colfax Free Fair. It's 8:05 right now, and it's Monday morning. Time for us to get on the phone with Anita and talk about some jobs. Anita, I appreciate you being with us on Monday mornings. How you doing?
I'm doing good. You doing good this morning?
I am good. You have a good weekend?
I did. I actually rested Saturday.
Good for you. Good for you. You probably deserved
I didn't go nowhere.
Probably deserved it after all these job fairs you've been hosting.
Actually, since you said that, I'm going to go ahead and start with that. We are having a hiring event this Wednesday in our office for the Department of Public Safety. That is 10 to 1. Come on out and talk with them. Also, that we have some virtual workshops, one tomorrow at 10 a.m. And if you got a criminal record, need a job, need some help, then you can get some information and go through that webinar. Those are free. And then a job application workshop Thursday at 2 o'clock. But like I said, those are virtual. We can send you the link, and get that way you can do it in the comfort of your own home. Those, my understanding, do give you credit for one of your work search requirements in the week, not two, just one. We have a metal spray tech one in Far City. The pay is $14.50 to $17.75 an hour. That does require a high school diploma and 3 months experience. We have a production clerk out in Saluda. It is anywhere from $10 to $15 an hour. They'd like you to have a high school diploma but no experience. We have an oil changer in Tron. The starting pay is $14 to $16 right now. He said that he would, after 90 days, he would discuss with the person to see how they do. He does not require any high school. He would like to have at least a month or two of experience. Then we have a substance abuse counselor that is in Far City that does require a master's degree and a year's experience. A solvent recovery technician in Rutherfordton. That pay is anywhere from $20 to $26 an hour. That does require a high school diploma and 6 months experience. A direct support professional in Far City, and there is one in Rutherfordton. Both of those require a high school diploma, and the pay is $17,360 a year to $29,890 a year. A spot welder in Far City. The pay is dependent on experience. They would like you to have a high school diploma in 3 months. Then we have a box on demand operator in Far City. $14.50 to $17.75 an hour. That requires a high school diploma and 3 months experience. A general utility operator in Rutherfordton. That pay is anywhere from $25,960 a year to $63,300 a year. They would like you to have a high school diploma. We have a box truck driver in Rutherfordton that does not require any experience. Well, it does require 3 years of driving experience. They would like you to have a high school diploma. Now, the pay is dependent on experience. They will talk with the person. We have a controls engineer that does require a bachelor's degree and a year experience, and it's in Far City. The pay is dependent on experience. We have a test technician, electrical tester in Far City. That's $35 an hour. That they've not requiring any experience or any high school right now. That any of those jobs, you can call us at 223 Charlotte Road in Rutherfordton here at the office, or any of the workshops, the 2 workshops, or the hiring event. As of right now, that's pretty much what we're going this week. What's going next week? We don't have a lot going on next week. It's coming up the end of the month, but we're trying to put together some stuff for next month as well. Hopefully, with some employers, they want to do some outside hiring events. I think so. But That's all.
Things have really changed. I remember a few years ago, you couldn't find a job. Everybody was full up, and it's hard to find a job. But now the jobs are everywhere.
Yes, jobs are in demand.
Yes. Well, Nita, I appreciate you very much being with us, and you have a great week and enjoy yourself, and I'll see you next time.
All right, you too then.
Thanks. Bye-bye. It's 10 minutes after 8 o'clock here on the Morning Report at WCAB in the Blue Room, broadcasting live. My name's Jim Bishop, and I'm glad to host you for this third hour, and thank you for being with us during that time. We have some news from here and there, and the Sheriff's Report coming up in just a few moments, right after these words. Dr. Dewey Dittar is accepting patients at Medical Group of the Carolinas, Family Medicine, Rutherfordton. For Dr. Dittar, being a primary care doctor is more than testing patients, diagnosing ailments, and writing prescriptions. Relationships are the most important part of primary care, and Dr. Dittar is here for you, providing the care you need when you need it, and it's about connecting the people he treats with the services they need. Now accepting new patients. Same-day appointments are available. Call 828-286-2302 or visit SpartanburgRegional.com for more information. Some stories from here and there this morning. Mentioned earlier this woman who died in the automobile crash. A local woman killed Thursday after she was thrown from a single vehicle crash. The story from the Daily Courier reads Sabrina Spurlock, 27, of Forest City, died in the 12:26 p.m. wreck on the eastbound ramp leading from U.S. Highway 74A to U.S. 74. Spurlock was driving a 2003 GMC Envoy at a high rate of speed when she took the curving ramp. She ran off the right side of the road down an embankment before overturning the SUV. Spurlock was ejected from the vehicle, according to Trooper J.K. Henderson of the Highway Patrol. Spurlock was not wearing a seatbelt at the time. Witnesses told the trooper Spurlock was driving at as fast as 80 miles per hour perhaps, when she lost control. It was reported the victim was heading home to retrieve money so she and her husband could take a lunch break together. The crash caused the ramp to be closed for about 2 hours. That story from Daily Courier. Meanwhile, Polk County and Asheville authorities are searching for a missing 14-year-old. Morgan Pridmore was last seen Saturday night, September the 18th, at approximately 10 p.m. in the Winston Avenue area of Asheville. Morgan is approximately 5 feet 3 inches tall, 135 pounds, has sandy blonde, light brown hair with a temporary purple hair dye, and has blue-green eyes and a nose piercing. Morgan is known to have visited the Ramada by Wyndham at 148 River Ford Parkway in Asheville prior to September the 18th. She has family and friends in Polk, Rutherford, and Buncombe counties. Anyone with information about the whereabouts of Morgan Pridmore is asked to contact Officer Chris Stramolo with the Asheville City Police Department at 828-252-1110 or Polk County Division of Social Services at 828-894-2100, Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5, or 828-894-0188 after hours, or you can contact any local official, and they'll help you get that information to the right source. And again, she's approximately 5 feet 3 inches tall, 135 pounds, has sandy blonde, light brown hair with a temporary purple hair dye, and has blue-green eyes and nose piercings. If you see anyone fitting that description, please contact the local officials. Meanwhile, members of Faith Baptist Church in Shelby had their cars broken into and stolen from while they attended services this week. According to the Cleveland County Sheriff's Office, a Shelby man has been arrested in connection with a pair of thefts from cars in the church parking lot on Sunday. While church services were in session on Sunday, the man reportedly drove into the church parking lot, stole items from 2 cars, including a backpack full of textbooks and schoolwork. Both thefts were caught by security cameras outside of the church. Cameras caught pictures of the man's face and his vehicle entering and exiting the parking lot. Those photos were turned over to the Cleveland County Sheriff's Office. Those photos were shared on social media by the Sheriff's Office, which made an arrest this past week. He has been charged with 2 counts of breaking and entering of a motor vehicle, 2 counts of possession of stolen goods, and for probation violation. He was given an $84,500 bond. Janet Poston, church secretary, said this gentleman was really fast. He wasn't in the parking lot for more than a few minutes. Most of his time was spent walking from one end of the parking lot to another. Postal said one of the vehicles had its windows down and the other was unlocked. Sunday's thefts aren't a new thing. They aren't a new thing for Faith Baptist Church. Being located at the intersection of two main highways, the church sees a fair amount of traffic, and Postal said the church has had issues with people stealing gas from or breaking into church vans when no one was around. That happened at Faith Baptist Church in Shelby. Former Deputy White House Press Secretary and Deputy Assistant to President Donald Trump, Hogan Gidley, was the keynote speaker for the Rutherford County Lincoln's Reagan Dinner Friday, September the 17th, before a full house at the foundation. The Rutherford County Republican Party's fundraiser, the largest such event in our area, raised over $20,000 for the organization, according to Chair Bryson Smith. A powerful program filled the evening, and it was well attended by many special guests. Congresswoman Virginia Fox was there. Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson was also there and spoke. And, of course, the keynote speaker was Hogan Gidley. He was White House Deputy Press Secretary and Deputy Assistant to President Donald Trump. As North Carolina Mountain State Fair wraps up, vendors report increased sales, but attendance was down this year up in Fletcher. Back after taking a year off due to COVID-19, organizers say the smiles on the faces of attendees indicate that it was a success. General Manager of the Mountain State Fair, Matt Buchanan, said as of Saturday night, the attendance count was just over 113,000 people. He said that's 25% less than in 2019, but vendors report increased sales. Though he says they plan for more people to attend, he isn't surprised by the number. Buchanan said he is grateful to the community for supporting the event this year. You just don't know how great it is to be back this year, said Buchanan. I've had numerous emails, people saying they're so glad the fair was back this year. It's a family tradition. Meanwhile, the Ellenboro Fair, Colfax Free Fair, returns Tuesday night in Ellenboro at the old former Ellenboro School, September the 21st through the 25th. This will be the 93rd edition of the event, which typically attracts thousands of visitors. Organizers are especially excited because most of the typical fair elements would be back. Last year, they only had a limited drive-through event held because of COVID. The fair will be held at the site of the old Ellenboro School on Cherry Mountain Street. Kyla Bumgarner, the Ellenboro Elementary School principal, said this will be more like our typical fair. B&K Carnival Rides will begin bringing in rides, and they have already begun doing that, setting up in the days prior to fair's opening tomorrow. Because of COVID-19, there will be multiple hand sanitizing stations throughout the fair area. The fair's car show will be Saturday at the old Ellenboro School ball field. Registration will be from 2 to 5. People's Choice voting will be from 3 to 5:30, with awards presented at 6 o'clock. There is no entry fee. This year's event will not have competitive exhibits in the exhibit hall, such as canned foods and garden produce and things like that, but there will be some educational and informational displays. Live music Friday and Saturday night at the ball field. Rock Bleachers, the Rock Gospel Quartet, will perform Friday at 7 and 8. The Piney Mountain Boys, playing bluegrass music, will perform Saturday at 7 and 8 p.m. Fair is free because there's no cost to enter the fairgrounds and no cost for parking. Participants purchase tickets to access the carnival rides, however. We're excited. They're excited, and we're excited that we'll be broadcasting from the fair on Wednesday night, 6 until 8 o'clock there about the exhibit hall. So stop by whenever you can and say hello to our broadcast team as we help kick off this year's Colfax Free Fair.
This is Dwayne Hunt with Insurance Service Associates, wanting to let you know that we have moved. Our new office is located at 245 East Main Street in Forest City. Come see us for auto, home, or your commercial insurance needs. Also come see me, Dwayne Hunt, for your Medicare supplements, Medicare Advantage, or prescription drug plans. See us at Insurance Service Associates, now located at 245 East Main Street in Forest City, or call 828-245-5301.
At Smith Drugs of Forest City, we are continuing to offer the COVID-19 rapid testing and the COVID-19 vaccinations. Please call our pharmacy at 828-245-4591 with any questions or concerns that you may have. You may also visit our website at smithsdrugsfc.com and schedule your COVID rapid 19 test or your vaccination. Again, if you have any questions, please call our pharmacy at 828-245-4591. 4591.
I mentioned this last week, and I'm happy to mention it again today because I want you to really go by there because I know you will be impressed. I'm talking about Anchor Down, a store there in Forest City. They're open from 10 o'clock until 5 o'clock. They're closed on Saturdays and Sundays, so they'll be there today through Friday. And they get new arrivals each week in furniture, jewelry, dishes. They're ready to use. They've been cleaned, ready to use. All name brand clothes. All clothes are 50 cents. Shoes are $1. All furniture is half price. Prices have been slashed, and you won't believe what you can get at Anchor Down for these low prices. 155 West Main Street. If you go by and see them, you'll find out. Indeed, that is a fun place to browse and shop. They got 2 or 3 rooms there you can go in. And when you find some name brand clothes for 50 cents and shoes for $1 and furniture half price, that's worth going by there, right? It's called Anchor Down. You'll find them. They're right beside Rutherford Weekly new location. It used to be a computer store. City Computer used to be the City Computer. Now it's Rutherford Weekly. They're right across the main street there from Carolina Chiropractic. Anchor Down. Go by and see them. It's open at 10 o'clock this morning. Tell them Jim told you to come by and watch your smile real big. You probably already know this, but women make up nearly 50% of new gun buyers in America. Women have bought almost half of all guns purchased since the beginning of 2019, according to the Wall Street Journal. Preliminary results of the 2021 National Firearms Survey obtained exclusively by the Journal found that about 3.5 million women became new gun owners between January 2019 and April 2021. Approximately 4 million men purchased first-time guns during that period. Researchers and gun store owners attributed the jump to fears driven by the COVID-19 pandemic and protests, sometimes accompanied by violence, that followed the police killing of George Floyd, according to the Journal. San Diego resident Elaine Pierce told the Wall Street Journal that she signed up for Not Me SD, an initiative to stop sexual assault and domestic violence, after seeing protests devolve into violent situations in neighborhood suburbs. I've seen violence before, but police were always there, Pierce said, with a gun. You drive into a riot, which we've seen on TV, at least you have a fighting chance with a gun. Previously, surveys found that women typically made up 10% to 20% of American gun owners, but women now make up about 34% of gun owners in the United States, according to the National Firearms Survey numbers. This shift in gun purchases has come after decades of gun industry attempting to be marketed firearms to women with little success. Their strategy was previously known as shrink it and pink it, meaning if you make smaller guns in cute colors, women will be more likely to buy them. Some markets also discontinued strategies that aimed at men, like having women in bikinis posing with new gun models, but that's not necessarily the case anymore. Women are real women, and they're taking the concealed carry classes, and they're buying guns, and they're prepared. Hopefully nothing ever happens, but they're prepared. Lieutenant Lowry was with us for the Sheriff's Department, gave us a report this morning. We recorded it for broadcast at this time.
In the past 48 hours, the Sheriff's Office has responded to 326 calls. We currently have 216 detainees in the jail, and they processed 23 arrests. Under arrest reports, we have Stormy Dunlap of Forest City, charged with failure to appear. We have Justin Bradshaw of Ellenboro, charged with driving while license revoked. We have Roberto Alvarez, charged with flee to elude arrest of motor vehicle and possession with intent, manufacturer Schedule 4, controlled substance. Failure to appear on felony and failure to appear on misdemeanor. Sherry Daly of Rutherford, charged with assault and battery. Fred Braun Ballstick, charged with failure to appear on misdemeanor. Michelle Wilson of Rutherford, charged with possession of stolen goods. Kimberly Clark of Ellenboro, charged with failure to appear on felony. James Frazier of Forest City, charged with failure to appear on misdemeanor. And Jeffrey Green of Ballstick, charged with breaking and entering and larceny after breaking and entering and probation violation misdemeanor larceny, and communicating threats. Under incident reports, we have Sarah Bradley reported an incident of breaking and entering. We have Russell Howard reported an incident of assault and battery. Eddie Foci, an incident of identity theft and obtaining property by false pretense. Tisha Smith, incident of identity theft. Amy Hamrick, incident of felony larceny. And that does it for the report.
That slowed the offense down some. Darnold commented on the game plan with and without McCaffrey on the field.
That rushing touchdown was an amazing run to be able to make that safety miss, and it was obviously the turning point in the game. Obviously, you'd like to have him out there, but, we got great players all around me, to be able to step in.
In other division action, the defending Super Bowl champion Bucs improved to 2-0 and smothering the Falcons 48-25 and sending the Dirty Birds to an 0-2 start. Derek Carr threw for 382 yards and 2 scores as the Raiders topped Pittsburgh 26-17. Greg Zerlin connected on a 56-yard field goal as time expired to give the Cowboys a 2017 victory over the Chargers. At the end of the first half, Dallas led the Bolts 14-11. Not really a big deal, but it was apparently the first time in the NFL's 102-year history that the score of a game at the half had ever been 14-11 at the midway point. The Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson ran for 107 yards and 2 scores as he led Baltimore past KC 36-35. Baker Mayfield threw for a touchdown, ran for another, and was 18 of 21 for 213 yards in the Browns' 31-21 decision over Houston. The Bills blanked the Dolphins 35-0 in Miami after losing their opener at home last week. They also knocked out Tua Tagovailoa. In the early part of the game, he left with a rib injury. This is NCN Sports.
I got the vaccine to protect myself.
Because COVID-19 is still spreading.
All the patients I take care of with COVID-19 have one thing in common.
They have not gotten their vaccine.
The vaccines were proven safe and effective in clinical trials with thousands of people.
That's why I tell my friends and family to get theirs.
I'll take feeling achy for a day or two over going to the hospital or dying any day.
Don't wait.
Go to myspot.nc.gov
to get your free COVID vaccine.
Sponsored by NCDHHS.
Countless small businesses closed their doors due to COVID-19, and many are still struggling, even as we emerge from the pandemic. At the NC Rural Center, we believe that our state's economic future depends on the vibrancy of small businesses from Murphy to Manio and everywhere in between. That's why we've assembled a group of small business owners and state and local leaders across the state to form the North Carolina Small Business Coalition. Learn more about the coalition and how to join at ncruralcenter.org. NC Rural Center, building vibrant rural communities.
A class act in Major League Baseball.
Cincinnati Reds pinch hitter T.J. Friedel got his first big league hit.
First pitch, T.J. Friedel to right field, home run.
The homer in the bottom of the 6th went into the hands of an excited fan in the right field seats at Great American Ballpark. Knowing how important a first major league hit is, Dodgers right fielder Mookie Betts went to the wall and asked the fan for the ball back. Friedel couldn't believe it.
It's just first class. It's incredible. Just for him to do something like that is definitely just world class.
The fan didn't go home empty-handed, though. Betts traded him a bat for that ball. Stacy Lynn, CBS News.
And I'm Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Monday. For this afternoon, we'll see a partly to mostly cloudy sky. Stray shower is possible this afternoon, though. Most of you, however, will stay dry. Our highs today are in the low to mid-80s. For Tuesday, we'll see another mostly cloudy afternoon, but more rain expected. We'll see scattered showers in the afternoon on Tuesday. For Wednesday, we'll see scattered to widespread showers and thunderstorms, heavy rain likely as a strong cold front moves across the state. I'm meteorologist Zach Malak in the Weather Center.
Right now we're cloudy here in Rutherfordton and 68 degrees, warming up to about 79 for a daytime high. And tonight dropping back to about where we are right now, 65 for the overnight low, with a chance of precip about 80% tonight and tomorrow. It's 8:30. This is WCAB Rutherfordton, serving the foothills of the Carolinas. It's time now for the Word of Faith Fellowship radio program. And here's Jessica Farmer.
Good morning, Rutherford County, and all those listening. It's so wonderful to be back with you again this morning. Welcome to our Word of Faith radio program. where we love coming and being with you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8:30 to 9. And we hope, it's our heart, that you're blessed this morning through the program, through us just opening our heart and sharing what God has been speaking to us, as well as, many other programs that many of my friends have done from our church. They're all available on our website, wordoffaithfellowship.org, and please feel free to come and enjoy any of those. But this morning, I want to just open my heart and just share with you some things that God has been speaking to me. And I hope that, just like God has been doing for me, I hope that your thinking will begin to change about your everyday life through some of the scriptures that we're going to look at this morning. It's so important that we see Jesus as our vital need. It's so important that we look to him for everything. All my life I've had such an awareness of God and such an awareness that he's a good God. He wants to provide for us and take care of us. But I think more than ever before, I am realizing I have to have Jesus. I have to have him for everything. Without him, I am nothing. And I think until we come to that point in our life, he cannot flow through us. He cannot use us. And I want to talk to you a little bit this morning about what the scriptures that I've been looking at about the sins of presumption. And so often in our lives, and I know I have been letting Jesus check me on so many different things. So often in our lives, we take for granted things all around us every day. And it can get us in big trouble. I wanted to start out by just defining that for us. What is presumption? What is a presumptuous attitude? It leads us to conduct. It is to take for granted and to assume or suppose something. To assume it's true to presume, to think something's true when there's no proof of it. There's no ground, there's no reason or evidence leading to the proof of it. And it leads us to act in a certain way. And those things can get us in trouble. But more than get us in obvious trouble, I think sometimes we're in trouble and we don't realize it. Because the Bible instructs us that our sins create a separation between us and our God. And our end goal in life is that we want to go to heaven. We want to make it to heaven. And if we are going to make it to heaven, we are going to have to follow the example that Jesus laid out for us as he walked the face of this earth and received the sacrifice that he gave us as he died on that cross. And Jesus himself said in John 5:30, I am able to do nothing from myself, independently of my own accord, but I only as I am taught by God and as I get his orders. Even as I hear from him, I judge, and I decide as I'm bidden to decide. As the voice comes to me, so then I give a decision. And my judgment then is right, just, and righteous, because I do not consult my own will. I have no desire to do what is pleasing to myself, my own aim, my own purpose, but only the will and the pleasure of him who sent me. How many times a day do we make those quick decisions without weighing it? Jesus, is that your will? Decisions to do something, decisions to say something, decisions to go somewhere without even seeking him, without even realizing that without him, we're nothing. We can do nothing. We are nothing. We want to be a vessel that he can flow through, just like Jesus on the face of this earth, that his will can be accomplished through our hands and our mouth, that his will can come into this earth. Each of us have that call on our life. Each of us have been called from the foundation of the world. He's called you for a very specific purpose that only He knows on the face of this earth. And it's so important for us to fulfill that. And there's nothing that fulfills you like doing God's will for your life. Ecclesiastes instructs us that there is a divinely implanted sense of eternity working through the ages in the hearts of all men, that nothing under the sun can satisfy that except for God and God alone, His will for your life. But if we make these quick decisions, if we make these assumptions, these presumptions day in and day out, that should be okay. I did it yesterday, nothing happened. Then we're on a dangerous path. It says in James 4 that there's only one lawgiver and that there's only one judge, and that's God Himself, the one who's able to save and to destroy, the one God who has the absolute power over life and over death. It's Him we serve. But who are you to pass judgment on your neighbor? Who are you that say, in verse 13 it says, come now. Today or tomorrow we will go to such and such a city and spend a year there, carry out our business, and make a profit. But you don't know the least thing. The Bible instructs us. We don't know the least thing about what may happen to our life tomorrow. What is the security of your life? It says. We are mere vapors, a puff of smoke, a wisp, visible for just a little while, and then in thin air. You ought to instead say, if the Lord wills, we will live, and we will do this, or we will do that. But as it is, you're boasting vainly. Your pretentious arrogance is evil. All such boasting is evil. And any person who knows to do right but does not do it, for that person it is wrong. We have got to realize that if we make plans and we carry out a plan that is not God's plan, it's dangerous for our life. You see, there's only two plans in the earth. There's only God's plan or the devil's plan. And the devil's all the while trying to make you think you want to do this and you want to go here and you want to do that. How many friends have I known to, against the word of the Lord, get in a car or go to a place and their life is destroyed? If not, their life is over. Their life is changed forever. I want to have increasingly every day the fear of God in my heart, that I've got to have His voice. I've got to see what He is saying about my life, my personal situation, my plans. I wanted them to be His plans. I mean, in Isaiah 56:12, it says, they say, come, let us drink wine. Let us fill ourselves with strong drink, and tomorrow will be just like today. Just like today, it'll be very great indeed. How many times have you thought, I'll do this tomorrow. I don't want to do it today. I'll do it tomorrow. None of us are guaranteed tomorrow. We must live every single day just like it's our last. Just like Jesus could come back, because He could come back. As we speak, the trumpet could sound. As we speak. And I want Him, when He sounds that trumpet, to come back and find me doing His will. Not off doing what I want to do. Not off saying that just let me live my life for a time longer. No. It's destruction. If the devil can get you to say that, he can destroy you tomorrow. And we don't want that. 2 Peter 2 tells us that sure judgment is coming upon those who indulge in corrupt passions and of the sin nature, and who despise authority, and who are presumptuous. We don't want to be that way. We don't want sure judgment on us. In Luke 12, it tells a parable that's very descriptive of what I'm talking about. And I know I've been guilty myself. And I know God can convict our hearts as we read the scriptures. It says that Jesus told a parable that there was a very rich man in a very fertile and productive country. And he began to think to himself, the classic Amplified Bible says he began to reason within himself. And that is so often what we do. We begin to reason and make assumptions that God didn't give us to think. This is what I will do, he says. I will tear down my storehouses. I will build bigger ones. And I will store all my grain and my goods there. And I will say to my soul, soul, you have many good things stored up. Enough for many years. Rest, relax, eat, drink, just like they said in Isaiah 56. Tomorrow is going to be great. Tomorrow will be just like today. Celebrate continually. But God said to him, you fool, this very night your soul will be required of you. And now, who will own all the things that you've prepared? We don't want to think. And I'm not here, just to preach gloom, doom, and destruction. But I'm here to tell you that there is a very narrow way. And to walk in the fear of God is wonderful. To walk hearing God's voice every day and obeying it there's so much protection, and there's so much satisfaction, and there's so much peace. But to do your own thing is dangerous. To walk in a way that seems right, Proverbs tells us that. There is a way that seems right to man, but the end of that way is destruction. To walk in a way that's right in your eyes without taking the time to seek God, inquire for him, and ask him what his will is for your life so that you can obey it, is destruction. And that's what I want us to see today. Isaiah 30 tells us, woe, judgment is coming. And I just choose to believe that. I choose to believe that judgment will come to me if I'm like this. Woe to the rebellious children, declares the Lord, who carry out a plan, but not mine, who make an allegiance, but not of my spirit, in order to add sin to sin. They go down to Egypt without consulting me. They take refuge in the stronghold of Pharaoh and in the shadow of Egypt without consulting me. And that's what God wants to put into our hearts today. He wants us to inquire of him on every little thing. You say, well, I know I got to get up in the morning. I know I got to go to work. So what's the point of inquiring of that? Of Jesus about that? It's just not the way to live. The way to live is, Jesus, what's your will? What is your will for when I get to work? What's the first thing you want me to do? When I get out of this bed, what do you want me to wear today? What do you want? Who can I be a blessing to today? There is so much peace in living in absolute dependence upon your Savior. He wants to be there for you. And we many times have not been taught this. This is not, it's the thing that you hear from many ministers in the past. I've heard, God gave you a mind. Use it. He gave you a will. He gave you a mind. He gave you emotions. He gave you a soul to seek him with all of your heart and as your vital need. We don't want to be proud and haughty. There's an arrogance and proceeding into something with presumption that is dangerous. The Bible gives us many examples of people who rose up and thought they were somebody and thought they were something and thought it was okay what they were doing. Thought it was great what they were doing. But they've left God behind and he's nowhere near. It's an abomination. And Isaiah says judgment is coming. But Gamaliel stands before the council and says in the book of Acts, chapter 5, he says, for some time ago, Theudas rose up claiming to be somebody of importance. And a group of about 400 men followed him. And is that us? Are we a follower of somebody who claims to be of some importance? Or do we follow the voice of the Lord our God? What happened to him? He was killed, and all who followed him were scattered and came to nothing. And Gamaliel's point was, if these people who were preaching, it was, I believe, Paul and his disciples, those around him, if this preaching is of God, then it's going to stand. But if it's not, it's going to fall. And that is exactly what we need to know today. If what you're doing is of God, it's of eternal value, and it will stand. But if it's not, it's going to crumble. And woe be unto us. Woe be unto us. We don't want to be that way. Luke 22 says, but it shouldn't be this way with you. On the contrary, the one who's the greatest among you should become like the youngest, the least in privilege, and the leader like the servant. We want to be humble. We want to seek him as our vital need. And there's many examples in the Bible of people who, and as a matter of fact, since I've been studying this, it's like everywhere I turn in the scriptures, I can see how damaging that presumption is. One example that stuck out to me was Peter. And at the Last Supper, Jesus took a basin of water and filled it. And he set out to wash the disciples' feet. And when he came to Peter, Peter said, Lord, are you going to wash my feet? And Jesus said to him, do you realize what I'm doing? You will understand. And Peter said, you will never wash my feet, Lord. How presumptuous was that? How arrogant to stand in the presence of God Almighty, the Son of the living God, and tell him what he was going to do and what he's not going to do. And we do that every day. By our actions, by how we live. Because we think we know. Because we think we've got it under control, and we've got our life planned out, and we have our life in our control. Jesus said, unless I wash your feet, and Jesus is saying, unless I do the will of the Father, because it was the will of the Father that Jesus washed the disciples' feet. Unless I wash your feet, you have no part in me. You have nothing to do with me. And I don't want that to be said of me. I want the will of God to be accomplished in my life and have nothing to say back about it. Another example was Nahab and Abihu, the sons of Aaron in the Old Testament. And they took a censer of fire and they put fire in it and offered strange and unholy fire unto the Lord. They were out from under authority. God didn't say to do it. They didn't do it God's way. They were in opposition to God's way. God is very specific, and you can definitely see that in the book of Leviticus. God is very specific about his way. But they didn't do it. And the Lord, it says here clearly, had not commanded them. And there came fire from before the Lord and killed them, and they died before the Lord. And Moses said to Aaron, this is what the Lord meant when he said, my will, not their own, will be acknowledged as hallowed by those who come near to me. And that is in my heart. Let it go to your heart today. God's will, not my own, will be hallowed, will be considered as holy to me. That's what I want in my life, is God's will. Proverbs instructs us, trust in the Lord. Rely on him confidently with all of your heart. Do not rely on your own insight or understanding. One scripture I keep before me all the time. Every single day of my life, I think, what do I know that's not been taught me? What do I know that someone didn't pay the price to lay down their life and put in my heart so that I could walk in it? What do I have that's not been given me? To keep a humility in my thinking. God Almighty is insight, is knowledge, and is wisdom. And we're either humble and receive from him, or he will set himself against us because that we're proud. We don't want to be that way. Lean not to your own insight or understanding. In all of your ways, look at that scripture. In all of your ways, acknowledge and recognize him. That's everything we do. And he will begin to make your path straight and smooth before you. Do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord with reverent awe and obedience, and turn entirely away from evil. And that's the way we want to be. Just set your heart, as I've been setting mine. I am not going to rely on my own insight or understanding. If I think something, I want to check on the inside. Jesus, did you say that to me? I want to come out into the light to see, are my works done in God? Did God say this to me? Did God do this through me? And whatever God says, it has been so important to me lately. Whatever he says, I want to obey it. It does not matter to me. If he says right in the middle, what you're doing is not of me, I don't want it. He could come back. And I want to please him. I want to be his servant. Psalm 19. The heavens tell of the glory of the Lord. The voice of the Lord, his evidence has gone out into the earth. His words are to the ends of the earth. The law of the Lord is perfect and flawless, restoring the very soul. It is. The way of God is so beautiful and full of honor and full of peace. The precepts of the Lord are right, bringing joy to the heart. I've seen that in my life. The commandment of the Lord is pure, enlightening the eyes. The fear of the Lord is clean, and it cleanses your heart. It changes your thinking. It makes you see things the way God does. And the fear of the Lord endures forever. And the end of that psalm, it says, Lord, keep your servant back from the sins of presumption. And that's my heart's cry today. Keep me back from the sins of presumption. We don't want the sins of presumption. There are so many examples in and around the Old Testament. The example where Moses had to give the rebellious Israelites, the first generation, the word of the Lord, and you're not going into the promised land. They had disobeyed the word of the Lord time and time and time and time again. They presumed to complain against God. Every time they came up against a situation, they presumed God wouldn't help them this time, even though he had helped them every other time. And this situation is no different. Moses gave them the word of the Lord. You're not going into the promised land. And all of a sudden they begin to presume, we're going to go take the Amalekites. We're going up on the hillside and we're taking the Amalekites. We're going to, rule over them in battle. But Moses said, why are you transgressing the commandment of the Lord? You will not succeed. Do not go up, or you will be struck down before your enemies. The Lord is not among you. And that so stuck out to me. I don't want to be in the middle of doings that the Lord is not among me. And the only way that we're going to know that is if we cry out to him and we seek him with our whole heart to inquire, Jesus, is this of you? Are you leading me here? For the Amalekites and the Canaanites will go in front of you, and you will fall by the sword, Moses told them. Follow the Lord. Do not go up. He is not with you. But in their arrogance, they dared to go up to the ridge of the hill country. However, neither the Ark of the Covenant or Moses left the camp. And the Amalekites and the Canaanites who lived in the country came down and struck the Israelites and scattered them as far as Horem. There's the example of Kor, Dathan, and Abiram. They stood up. They presumed that they could stand up before Moses and tell Moses, enough of you. I've had it with you. Who did they think they were? Here's humble Moses that God anoints to bring his people. What happened to him? The end of the story is the earth opened its mouth and swallowed them whole. It's not worth it. And there's the 7 sons of Sceva who had seen the miraculous, the miracles and the deliverance that Paul was able to bring to people. And they began to presume to do the same thing. Well, they were destroyed. That devil rose up out of the man and said, Paul I know, Jesus I know, but who are you? We don't want to presume that we have anything in and of ourselves. Another example is Samson. I mean, Samson is such an example. Did God bring deliverance through him? Yes, he did. Did he obey one of God's commandments? No, he didn't. If you go back and read Judges 13 through 16, you will see that he was from his birth to be a Nazarite. That was the word of the Lord from the angel of the Lord, which means no razor would ever touch his head, no strong drink. It's a whole list of things. And Samson in his lifetime presumed to break every single rule that God laid forth. And yet, he would pick up a bone of an animal and slay in God's judgment thousands of Philistines. He was still strong. He disobeyed the word of the Lord again. He was still strong. And I see it says in Hebrews, if you can hear God's voice today, don't disobey it to harden your heart. Because every time you disobey the word of the Lord, you harden your heart. And what becomes of you is what happened to Samson in the end of his life. He told the secret of what God said. Don't ever touch a razor to your head. And he told it to that Delilah, that witch, that seductress. How deceived can you be? But his heart was so hard. What did she think what did he think she was going to do with that knowledge anyway? She was going to shave his head, and that's exactly what she did. And he got up off of that bed and presumed to have the presence of God. And it says specifically in the Bible, he didn't even know that God's presence had left him. He was as nothing. He had no strength. And that is so serious. We don't want the presence of God to leave us because we've disobeyed. And we've disobeyed, and we've disobeyed, and we've disobeyed, and we've hardened our heart, and God keeps coming. Day and night, it says of the old prophets. They came early, they came late. They warned you. Don't act presumptuously. Don't think your way is right. Fear God. Walk in his ways. Live life how God has instructed us and ordained in this scripture and by his voice for us to live. So what is God saying to us today? Zephaniah, it sums it up in Zephaniah. This is what we're going to do. Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1. Collect your thoughts. Yes, unbend yourself in submission. And right now you think, it's hard to hear what you're saying. It's hard to think that I could live that way. But every step with Jesus brings you closer to heaven. And every step you go to him and say, Jesus, please help me. I don't know the way. I don't know what to do. That right there is a beginning. It is such a good beginning. He will meet you right where you are. Unbend yourself and see if there's any sense of shame or consciousness of sin left in you. Oh, shameless nation, don't be shameless. Don't think you're fine. The time of repentance is speeding by like chaff before the wind. Repent while you have time. And verse 3, seek the Lord, inquire for him, require him as your vital, your foremost necessity of your life, all you humble of the land, who have acted in compliance with the revealed will of God. Keep his commandments, seek righteousness, seek humility, inquire for him, require him as vital, and it may be that you will be hidden in the day of the Lord's anger. And that's it. We want to go to heaven with Jesus. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening. And may God be with you, and may God's wisdom guide you, And may He teach you humility and righteousness and joy and peace all the days of your life. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.
Get your message to the thousands. Call the WCAB Sales Department today at 287-3356.
I'm Sherry Preston. With millions of kids across the country back in school classrooms, Pfizer has announced its COVID vaccine it believes is safe for children. Emergency use authorization is expected to be requested soon for those ages 5 to 11. Here's ABC's Eva Pilgrim.
The company says the trial gave more than 2,200